The night had been restless for Emily. She tossed and turned in her bed, plagued by a recurring nightmare that sent shivers down her spine. In her dream, she found herself in a dark, decrepit house. The walls were covered in peeling wallpaper, and the air was thick with a musty, oppressive atmosphere. Emily's heart raced as she cautiously explored the eerie house, her footsteps echoing through the desolate halls. She could hear faint whispers in the shadows, sinister voices that seemed to come from nowhere. Dread filled her as she followed the chilling voices to a closed door at the end of a long hallway. With trembling hands, Emily slowly pushed the door open. Inside, she was confronted by a grotesque sight. A grotesque figure, cloaked in tattered rags, stood hunched over in the center of the room. Its face was hidden beneath a hood, but Emily could sense malevolence radiating from it. The room itself was filled with rows of empty, rotting cribs, each one holding a decaying doll with lifeless eyes. As the figure turned towards Emily, she awoke with a start, drenched in cold sweat. It had been just a dream, she told herself, trying to calm her racing heart. But the memory of that sinister figure and the eerie dolls haunted her. The next day, Emily tried to shake off the unease from her nightmare. She went about her daily routine, hoping to forget the chilling dream. But as she walked to her job at the local library, a sense of unease settled over her. The town, once vibrant and full of life, now seemed strangely deserted. The streets were eerily quiet, and the shops were all closed, their windows dark. Emily hurried to the library, hoping to find some solace among the rows of books. But when she entered, the scene that greeted her sent a shock of terror through her body. The library was in ruins, much like the house in her nightmare. Books lay scattered on the floor, their pages torn and scattered like leaves in the wind. The walls were covered in peeling wallpaper, just like the dream. As she cautiously made her way deeper into the library, Emily's heart sank further. In the center of the room, she saw a figure, just like the one from her nightmare. It was the same cloaked, hunched figure, surrounded by rows of decaying dolls with lifeless eyes. Fear clenched at Emily's chest as she watched the figure turn slowly to face her. Its hooded face was still hidden, but she could feel the malevolence emanating from it. The figure extended a long, bony hand toward Emily, beckoning her closer. In a panic, Emily turned and fled from the library, running through the deserted streets of her town. She could hear the sinister whispers that had haunted her dream now echoing all around her. The nightmare had become real, and there was no escaping it. As she ran, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that her nightmare had somehow opened a door to a world of darkness and despair. She didn't know how, but she had unleashed something malevolent, and it was now stalking her in the waking world. The nightmare had come true, and there was no way to escape the terrifying reality that had taken hold of her life. Emily knew that she had to find a way to confront the darkness she had unwittingly unleashed, or else it would consume her and her entire town.